At 30 years old, John has always been a firm, fixed mindset person. He firmly believes that a person's intelligence and abilities are innate. If you can do it, you can do it. If you can't, no amount of effort will help. In the workplace, John always chooses to stay in his comfort zone. When the supervisor presents a highly challenging new project, his first reaction is not "this is a learning opportunity," but fear. He is afraid that if he doesn't do well, it will prove that he is actually not smart enough. To protect his fragile self-esteem, he always hesitates and gives opportunities to others. Then, with a sour expression, he said, "That kind of thing requires talent. I don't have that kind of gene." This mindset also permeates his life. He wants to learn a foreign language, but whenever he encounters setbacks, he completely denies himself. "I really don't have a language gene." Until one day, John attended a primary school reunion. He met the class monitor, Xiao Lin, from back then. In John's memory, Xiao Lin was once a slow-reacting child, even rated by teachers as average in aptitude. But now, Xiao Lin is not only the technical head of a multinational company, but can also communicate fluently in English with foreign colleagues. John asked with a hint of jealousy, "Have you become smarter? What magical potion did you take?" Kobayashi smiled, took out a worn-out notebook which was densely filled with records of every mistake he encountered while studying, as well as how he tried to solve them time and again. Kobayashi calmly said, "I never feel that I am smart. On the contrary, I accept my stupidity. Every failure is not proof that I can't, but a signal that I haven't learned yet." John was stunned. He looked at Xiao Lin's confident eyes and suddenly realized the predicament he had been in for many years. He had locked himself in a cage called talent. What he pursues is looking perfect, while Kobayashi pursues becoming stronger. At that moment, John realized ability is not a solid stone, but a seed that can grow. Failure is not shameful. Stopping to try is the real failure. John began to try to transform into a growth mindset. Change the inner dialogue. When he encounters difficulties again and wants to back down, he no longer says, "I can't," but instead tells himself, "I just haven't learned yet." Embracing challenges. He took the initiative to apply to the project he once feared, no longer worrying about making mistakes, but instead treating each mistake as data feedback. Redefining effort. He no longer sees effort as a sign of weakness, but rather as a process of honing the muscles of the mind. A year later, the project that John was in charge of achieved great success. Although he made many mistakes along the way, he learned unprecedented new skills. When he raised his glass at the celebration banquet, he understood a truth. The breadth of life does not depend on the talents you have at the start, but on whether you are willing to turn your scars into the nutrients for growth after each fall.